Okay, hey everybody, whoever's watching, I'm going to be showing you around my game today. My name's Sarah Northway, and I'm the creator and lead programmer and lead creative kind of person on I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, which is an RPG life simulation narrative game with card battling mini games to it. So let's just jump in to the demo portion of the game. Let's see, start area. The demo is going to be free online on Steam all this week during their Spring Festival, and it contains the first year of the game. So the game takes place from the ages of 10 to 19 in this person's life. This is Soul, that's the name of the character in the code, but you can name them whatever you want. And in the code, they're non-binary, but you can choose a gender as well, and their appearance will change based on your gender choices and other choices in the game. So the first year of the game is very innocent. You're 10 years old, obviously. You've just landed on an alien planet, and this is kind of your first few steps out during the winter season, which is called quiet season. I know all this stuff. I swear I made this game, but it's been a little while since I've been talking about it, so I might have forgotten a few things. But the demo is going to end when you're 10, but I will be showing off some later game stuff here in just a minute. But let's just start with the basics of the game. So during character generation, which I did skip, you're going to be making some choices for how the first 10 years of your life in space went on this colony ship before it landed. And that's going to change your best friend and your skills. So we made some decisions here that gave us a little toughness and perception, so some physical skills, as well as some empathy and creativity. We're also, I think we have something equipped that's increasing our biology. But I'll tell you about equipment way later. For now, you just need to know that this is a world you can run around in, and while you are running around on the map, time is not passing. This is a turn-based game, basically, so you're going to make a decision at some point to choose one activity to do for the next month. And until you make that decision, you can run around and talk to as many people as you want. So let's talk to this guy. So this is Cal, who is the kind of sweet, pacifistic farmer boy. So he's a tough guy, but he's very sensitive as well. And he loves his hoverboard. There's a kind of theme, an ongoing theme through this game of technology kind of falling apart over time. So you showed up, you and 100 other colonists on a great big spaceship, but you only brought enough technology to kind of get you there. Like you were refugees from Earth, which you'll later learn, and you didn't have a lot of resources. It's not like this is a great like government project. It's not a yeah, you didn't have a lot of backing from Earth's governments. You guys just left and got out of there, basically. I don't want to spoil too much, but that's the situation. So yeah, so you show up and you've got robots and all this cool tech, and over time it kind of falls apart and you kind of go back to the land. So farming is going to be a big part of this kind of back to the land situation. Both of your parents are farmers, and Cal is a farmer as well. So he's all color cued in green to show kind of earth plants, even though on the alien planet of Vertumna, most of the plants are actually purple and pink and have this like very warm color scheme to them. There's not a lot of green stuff. So, okay, so we're talking to Cal, and he's playing hoverboards on real dirt for the first time in either of your lives. So, yeah. He says it's different, and you can react well to that or well to that or badly. But he's happy either way. He's such a happy-go-lucky guy, especially when he's younger. So yeah, you can play around, make yourselves a little bowl made of dirt, and hoverboard up and down it. It's just all good, innocent, kiddie dumb fun. This early in the game, there's not a lot of stakes. There's not a lot to lose. You just want to make friends and learn about the world and explore it a little bit. Um, Later in the game, definitely your decisions will matter a lot and might even kind of come back to haunt you. Um, but you're 10 years old right now, and life is from a child's eyes, not very hard. It's just new and different. So we can talk to another person here. This is Anemone. She is the kind of sporty, happy-go-lucky, not a big fan of school, but really likes sports ball. So you can play a little bit with her, or you can try to dodge the ball, depending on how you feel. Um, you know, Whether you say you like sports ball or not, she's going to try to get you to play with her. Let's also meet Tammy. Here's Tammy over here. She's the homebody, a sweetheart, but she's a little scared of all the outdoors stuff. When you think about it, you've spent the first 10 years of your lives in a spaceship in space. So, just about everything like bugs, weird sounds, day night cycles, like all of that is going to be a little disconcerting. So Tammy, understandably, is very cautious about it. So yeah, were you friends with her when you were young, or did you used to tease her a little about being too timid? I think we're gonna go with how you used to play with her. You guys were real nice. And look, she wants to play dolls. You know, sure, I'm not too old for dolls. Let's play some dolls. Yeah, you guys are playing with her spacey Stacy's. So there is a lot of reading in this game. It is an RPG, and there's card battling as well. But the main mechanic in this game is all told through narrative. There are 600,000 words of text, which is about the equivalent of like 6 to 8 novels. Um, it's a lot. It's quite a lot. So it was written by myself and Lindsay Chihiro. The two of us together kind of back and forthed it. Lindsay was a big fan of all of the character component of it. So the romance, which everyone's going to grow up and there's going to be some teenage romance for sure, and just all the relationships and all the very like nice day to day stuff. So Lindsay focused so much on that, and they pushed me more in that direction, which was great. I was more focused on like fighting monsters and learning who you are as an individual. So there's also a lot of that in the game as well. It's definitely not entirely romance, and it's not entirely not romance as well. So yeah, be prepared. Lots of reading. You won't be reading that much in every playthrough is the thing. So there's 600,000 words of text, but you're only going to get a tenth of that maybe in a game, maybe 20% of that. Most of it will be like you have to make choices about how you spend your time and who you spend your time with as well. And you're only going to get events based on what you do and where you hang out. So let's take another look at another choice that we're going to have. So Tammy mainly stays close to the colony, stays indoors. Um, she's very sweet. She likes babies and children and babysitting. So if you want to do that sort of stuff, you'll see her a lot. She also likes cooking and cleaning and all the domestic duties. And she's a sweetheart, but she's uh, only in that kind of realm. So if you're out farming with Cal all the time, you might not see her as much. Let's talk to Mars now and see what her deal is. So she's awesome. She might be my favorite character because she does change a lot as the game goes on. She definitely starts off a bit full of herself, I guess you might say. She doesn't have every character has a an augmentation, like a science fiction like genetic augmentation, and hers is that she doesn't feel shame. So when she wants you to know something, she just says it. She doesn't beat around the bush about stuff. And it definitely comes off when she's younger as a bit forceful, but over time she becomes like an incredible leader of people, and very sensitive and very good at all the kind of social aspects of colony life. So I love her story arc that she just starts off a little rougher and then becomes like an extremely elegant, well-spoken, and beautiful woman. We'll see in the future. We'll skip forward and see how she turns out. She's awesome though. Yeah, also because she's just like, give me my sweets, and she's full of sass and it's really fun. Um, and she pokes a little fun of Tammy, so she sent you down here to get some soy sweets that Tammy's made for her. But the two of them are actually best friends, and they have an extremely sweet relationship over time, about how they kind of care for each other. You see, Mars lent her a scarf, so Tammy says, "One order of mango soy sweets made fresh this morning. Please tell Mars she can have the scarf back, okay? She leaves her kudos to nano print it for me because it's so dusty here, but I'm getting used to it now." So, Mars is doing sweet and nice things for people. Sometimes she's kind of bossy, but I know she really cares too. So, not every relationship is simple, not every character is simple, and they don't all stay the same as well. So, don't discount someone if you don't initially like them, because everyone is going to change quite a bit, as you'll see. Give it here, she says. You know what? I ate them. So we chose the equally sassy "I ate your soy sweets," which gave us a card for our collection. So let's just go and pause this for just a second as Mars is given a great emote here, and take a look at our memories, which is our deck of cards. So during character generation, which I did skip, we made some choices that gave us kind of red physical cards and also these red physical kind of skills. So our deck has fewer social cards and more physical cards right now. And we just got ourselves another physical card, this one. I ate them all, which is a kind of basic card that's just worth 2 points in the game that we're about to play. We also befriended Anemone, the sports ball playing girl, and we got her special card. All the character cards level up over the game and become quite powerful. So if we given Mars these sweets, and if in the future we befriend her a little more, we can get her character card as well, which is quite good. So she knew that we wouldn't be good at delivery, she says. That's what I told Administrator Seek. So she suggests that if we want to make it up to her, we could go and tell Administrator Seek that she referred us to go work for a delivery job. And she says, try not to eat your next delivery, nullhead. So let's try that. So we'll go into command. And I see the apply to deliver supplies. So we could go and try to deliver supplies and do the job that she just suggested, but it looks like we're going to need either toughness 10, so we can carry that stuff, or organization 10. So these are our skills over here. It looks like we got no organization, but we've got 7 toughness already. Okay, so before we can deliver supplies, we need to find a way to raise our toughness. And this is a major part of the game, this raising skills in order to unlock specific things that you might want. And in a given game, you won't be able to do everything. So you do need to choose and focus. Do we really want to do this? Do we want to become a farmer like Cal instead? For now, since you're young, you can try a little bit of everything. But once we get past the demo portion of the game, you probably should specialize, choose one thing, and you'll be able to play again later and make different choices. So for now, let's go find what we can do to get our toughness up, which I believe is playing sports ball with Anemone. So here we go, play sports ball. Looks like Anemone's brother is organizing the youth team, and you're going to do a practice game with you and Anemone as the 2 team captains. So we're going to pick our team. Definitely Mars. I think she's going to kick butt. And let's go with Tammy too. She's not very good at sports, but we'll see. All right, we face off. And now we do a challenge. So these are going to pop up all over the place. You do a challenge every month whenever you choose the activity. So the activity that we chose for this month was playing sports ball. And you also do these whenever there's um, some kind of challenge in your life. It could be anything though, something that is going to test your skills in some way though. So it could be like taking a math test, or getting someone to forgive you, or fighting a monster, or running away from a monster. Just any kind of thing. It could be, social, mental, and physical are all these different skills, and a challenge could be any one of these skills. So this particular challenge is a very simple toughness challenge to just play sports ball. Um, and let's explain the rules of this card game. So it's a little like poker. You want to make the best hand out of what you have down here. This time we're playing, there are 3 rounds. So, and your cards are going to stick around between rounds, the ones that you didn't use. So right now we just want to make the best hand we can of 3 cards. So we're going to let's just drag our best cards up here. So those are our 3 best cards. Now, you get bonuses for having cards beside each other that are like each other. So the 2 red cards together will give us a flush bonus. So an extra +1 because there's 2 red cards beside each other. If we have 3 red cards, it's going to be a bigger bonus for the flush of 3. Because these 2 cards both have the number 2 there, we get +1 for having 2 of a kind. This card has a special ability, and it can turn whatever's to the right of it into a 2. So this one, Tough Face, this was already a 2. So that's a bit of a waste. But if we swap them, now it's getting a bonus here. And this one was a 0 before, now it's a 2. Now we have 3 2s, so we get a big bonus for that. 3 red cards, which means a big bonus for that. That's a pretty darn good hand. Next round. So we just want to do the same thing again, trying to make the best hand, putting cards that are similar to each other together. In addition to flushes and to pairs, we can also do straights. So a straight is when you have a 0, a 1, and a 2, or a 1, a 2, and a 3, or 3, 4, 5. You can also have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 even. And cards can be negative, but it's pretty rare. You start with a few zeros, but no negative cards. So in this case, we got a straight 0, 1, 2, which gives us a bonus, and we get an extra bonus because we're extra good at straights because of this gardening trowel. This is something we got during the character generation, I think. That's equipment, and I'll show you more equipment later on when we skip to a later part of the game. So, all right, we got 9 points, the total of the faces of the cards plus that bonus, all of them together, 9 points. Still not quite enough, but we have a 3rd round, and we're pretty much guaranteed to get it. Let's try to put these cards together. We got the super goal. So not only did we meet the goal, but we got a second higher goal that's going to give us an extra bonus point at the end. For getting the best, not the best score, just a better score than the total that we had to get. So there's already some questions here, like, do we want the 2 reds together, or do we want the 3 1s together? Actually get more points, so 12 for putting the 2 reds together, and 13 for putting the 3 1s together. So there's no just guaranteed best strategy. You kind of have to try a little bit, dragging things around and seeing how they go. Look at this. There's an even better one because we got both the red and the 3 1s together. So you do the kind of best way to play is put your cards out there and then make some small adjustments and think about how that's going to improve your bonuses. So we won. We did. We got the best score as well. So that was the best possible hand for that last round there. Which, even if your cards aren't so good, And sometimes some of these challenges are much harder than others, and your cards will be just not enough. There's no way to do it. You can still get yourself the best score bonus, which is just you tried your hardest and you got the best score that you could with your cards. So we got a bunch of bonuses here because we got the super goal, we played a card that got us a bonus point, and we got this kudos for best score. Toughness, of course, is going to just increase our toughness. Now we're at 9 of 100. We need 10 to be able to unlock that job that we're trying to get. And the kudos is the currency of the world. So you can spend that in the shop, you can purchase gear, you can upgrade cards, and there's a spa that unlocks later on that lets you remove cards as well. All right, so for now I'm going to say done, and we will finish the sports ball game. Now, because we won, the outcome, the text here is going to be different. Tammy surprises everyone. She took to her role as the immovable object. She was the greatest defensive player. Anemone and Calm on the opposing team put the pressure on, but you score the match point, and you get this card to remember the moment playing sports ball when you were 10 years old. This card is going to set neighbors to this value. Since the value is 1, it'll set the card to the left and the card to the right to 1. If somehow you increase the value of this card so that that's at a 2 or 3, you would be setting the cards to the left and the right to a 2 or 3 as well. So you can get some combos pretty fast. All right, so that was the end of the month. You chose to do sports ball. This is the results screen for that. Every time you play sports ball, your friendship with Anemone goes up. You get some extra bravery and toughness. Also increases your stress, which is this dial up here at the top. That is something that you're going to need to balance, especially later in the game. It does make some things harder when your stress is high. And when your stress hits 100, you can't do anything. You just have to rest, and resting removes your stress again. But look, we got our toughness 10, so we have enough now to unlock that job. So let's go take a look. The month has changed, season's changed. This is now springtime with the beautiful pink palette, which is not my favorite color, but you know what? It might be my favorite season in here. I love the little motes, and you know, this game has really made me love the color pink, which is funny. All right, back to command. Now we can apply to deliver supplies. We still don't have the toughness, but we only need one or the other, and we don't have the organization, but we do have the toughness, so we can apply. Now there's going to be a lot of options, especially later in the game, that require some sort of skill. So you probably will want to focus on a few skills at first, get those high enough that you can always kind of have one option here. So in this case, you're doing a job interview with Administrator Seek, who doesn't particularly think that you're suited for the job. Mostly Seek doesn't love children very much. But yeah, is asking, why are you good for this job? And yep, you made the toughness. You're still not very organized, but you can prove you're strong for your age, maybe. And that was enough. You've now unlocked a new job. You can deliver supplies in command. So making this choice here did not advance time because it was one of these like white choices. So like you could view the notice board as well, which just tells you the going-ons in the colony, what all is happening. And that's not going to advance your time. It tells you who's in control of what as well, which does change. But when you pick an activity to do, that will advance time. So these purple buttons here, and if you hover over it, it'll tell you what you'll get from it. So friendship with Mars, who also works there, who works in the depot, as well as stress and kudos, which just generally go up over time, and some skills, important skills. So during your first week, you just carry things around, deliver things here and there. It's fun to get to yell, important delivery coming through. Most of the demo, most of year 10 is very innocent and like simple, pretty simple stuff. You don't have to think too hard about it. But yeah, later in the game, everything's going to become quite a bit more serious and just more complicated. There's more to think about. So we're playing another card challenge. There's always a card challenge every month as time goes on. This one is for delivering supplies, which was the job we chose to do this month. And it's just a simple one with just a single round because it's not part of a narrative thing. It doesn't, whether you win or lose, only changes whether you get like a bonus point, a little extra, in this case, organization skill. And it's not going to determine any like grand narrative things. So it's just a simple one round one. So we'll see if we can make the best. Oh, this is actually incredibly simple because the anemones card makes all of your red cards that are lower than 2 into 2. And so all of our red cards are now a 2, which gets us a huge bonus for having 5 of a kind, plus a huge bonus for having a flush of 5 red cards in a row. So yeah, we had to get 18, we got 30 instead. So we completely kicked ass. And we also got the best score. And friendship with Mars, because we saw her when we were picking stuff up at the depot. Over time, more jobs will unlock in every location. So that was just the first job here in command. But you know what, let's just skip ahead and I'll show you some part of the later game that won't be in the demo. But yeah, lots of other jobs will unlock, or like 4 other jobs, I think 3 or 4 other jobs will unlock here if you focus on these kind of jobs and get to know Mars as well, who works in command. It's her, or she spends a lot of time in command. Yeah, let's head out. So I'm gonna load a age 17 game. It's a little massaged. I think the cards are from maybe a little older than that. All right, so we are, looks like we're in the ridges. You can see we're older and all of our skills are much higher. Skills have these pips over time. Each one of these is a perk that you get to keep. Some of them are just basic. What's this one? This one gives you an extra gear slot. Some of them give you an extra draw card during challenges. This one unlocks new cards in the depot. This one gives you a whole new activity, which is the spa. Yeah, there's lots of good stuff in here, and then you have to figure out what they are and unlock them. It's all a great surprise. So yeah, let's run around. Let's see a little bit of the ridges. So I didn't show you exploring before, but it is possible to explore during the demo. You can sneak out. You do have to pass one of those skill challenges, and then you can sneak out and explore the area that's directly outside the colony. This is a much farther away, much later game area called the Resting Ridges. And as you can see, we've at some point when we unlock the Resting Ridges and we've been doing a lot of exploring, we have acquired some pets along the way. So we've got a pet Hawkeye, a pet Breaky, and this big one is a Unisaur. They're usually very ferocious, so it's not easy to tame them. It's quite a bit of work. And luck as well. So yeah, we've got 3 pets following us around, and I just want to show you, here's our deck. So now that we're 17 or whatever age this deck was from, there's much higher level, much bigger numbers, a lot more complexity, a lot more to think about, and like a lot of stuff going on here. These all represent kind of memories and things that have happened to you. Composing a song, you won the talent show, all these things that happened. Also, we have gear, which is equipped and gives you bonuses both inside and outside of the challenges. So we've got 3 pets equipped because pets are gear, and these 2 have been upgraded as well. So the Hawkeye 3, quite good. Gives you less stress. Every time you gain stress, you would gain a little less of it. And also gives you a big bonus every time you make a pair, so 2 of a kind or more in the challenges. We've also just got a backpack on that gives us an extra draw card. But you can buy these once you've unlocked the perk that gives you that type of item. Um, and sometimes you can find them, or people will give them to you as gifts as well. The last type of cards, we get memories, gear, and collectibles is the last type of card. And you find these out here in these exploration zones. Also, you can find them around the colony sometimes as well, and they're just little things that you pick up, eggs and roots and fruit and stuff. And they all have an ability, or most of them have an ability that if you use them in a card challenge, it will destroy the item, so you only get to use it once, and give a permanent +2 to that card. Not permanent, just for that game. I mean, just for that battle. You can also give these as gifts to your friends, and everybody has something that they like, a favorite item, and something that they really hate. So it's fun to, figure out what people like or hate. I'm looking at, here's the friends menu. We can go see who we've befriended over time here. Looks like, debug mode here. Looks like Cal Distani. Looks like we befriended a lot of people for sure. But yeah, Cal likes the red Zito eggs. So if you give him that, you'll get a little extra bit of heart from him. Also looks like Cal is dating Tammy. So sweet. So so there is dating. You can date 10 different characters. And if you don't date people, they go about their lives without you. They date each other. They have their own story arcs that they go through, whether or not you befriend them, whether or not you witness things in their lives, they still happen. So it is like a whole live world that you're just a part of. It's not all centered around you. Okay, so we are out here in the ridges, which is a dry, arid kind of summer area. And the ridges are all about exploring the past of there's alien ruins in the world. So you're not the first civilization to have landed or to have existed here. And this area, because it's so dry and so high up, it's been sheltered. So there's a lot of evidence of these previous people from 20,000 years ago. So a lot of these events are finding these ruins and kind of piecing together what happened here that long ago. So, all right. So in this case, yes, there's also a lot of strange things that happen out here. So, you realize that the rocks near you are not falling. You kick a rock and it doesn't fall down. It just kind of floats. And so do you. So you try to take a few steps into this weird area. You're just walking off the side of the cliff, and you don't fall. You just keep floating. Now you have a choice. Do you want to keep going, or do you want to go around it? So, what do we do? So let's go through it and see what happens. So we have now much higher level cards, with much more interesting things going on. So let's see. Except this. Oh, this was a bad card given for a terrible event that you probably remember if you go through it. It gives you 0 and it cannot be changed. So anything that would change it doesn't affect it at all. But the rest of them are probably good cards. Things like Rex Hug that. If your stress is really high, and it is in this case, if your stress is higher than 50%, then the card is better. So instead of being 4, it's instead a 9. I mean, instead of being a 5, it's instead a 9. Because you're stressed out, and he wants to give you a hug and help you out. Let's see, though. We need to make the best hand. Maybe we'll try let's see. Oh, how about this one? This one has a wild card value, which means it counts as a 1 for the goal total, but it counts as whatever you need for matching with the cards beside it. So it actually matches with both the card to the left and the card to the right. giving you two of a kind bonuses, and also a straight bonus of 3, 4, and 5. So these are just incredible wild card, very powerful cards if you can get them, because they give you all sorts of bonuses at the same time. So very powerful. We also got a Rainbow Flush, which is a specific thing to the Unisaur gear, which means it's 3 different colors, a yellow and a red and a blue in any order, but touching each other is a Rainbow Flush. It gives you a bonus. All right, let's just play this kind of quickly. Let's put 4 red cards, giving us a flush of 4 red cards. Not really looking at what they're doing. I think these guys are getting bigger because of the gems on these cards, which is good. This deck looks very gem focused. And this one, this is secret, will be 5 if you play it in one of these slots, and 10 if you play it in the first or last slot, so you definitely want to do that. Put this beside it to get the flush of 2 blue cards, and then just play some stuff, because I think we've got enough. More than enough to get the super goal. So here we go. We did not get the best score for that hand at all, because I played it pretty fast. But we did get the super goal because we had powerful cards. So we got a plus to bravery. All right, so back to the story. So because we won, we are going to be able to float over this chasm. If we had lost, something else would have happened. Not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes you do want to lose challenges, those narrative challenges anyway. But in this case, no problem. You just float on over to the other side and it's all good. Out here, when you're exploring, anytime you do anything, you get stressed just from time passing. So if you spend a long day, or it's really more of it's a month, out exploring, you're going to need to rest for a month afterwards to make up for it. So here we just have a flower that we can pick up, go back and give it to a friend later. And I think let's head back to the colony to see how it's changed. So this is, like I said, this is year 17, 7 years into the game. So things are quite different in the colony now. And you won't be able to see this in the demo. This is new content. This is also a newer version, so some of the cards and stuff might look different from the demo version, but this is a lot closer to the final version of the game. All right, so we're in wet season, which is the rainy fall season, and yeah, we just got back. This is the colony gates, and the colony, as you can see, quite different. There's new characters. And some characters that we met earlier are quite a bit older now. So this, you might remember, is Mars. She's now 17, maybe she's 18. I think she's a little older than you are. You can click on characters to see she's 18. And yeah, and she's still pretty feisty, gotta say. She's not super into aliens. Oh, we could give her a gift, but we've done that a little too, I think we did that last month. You have to wait 3 months between gifts. And if our persuasion was high enough, it was really not at all, then we could get a card from her as well and kind of advance this one bit of story. Every character has, I think, 3 cards that you can get via these gates, and another 3 cards that you can get by increasing the amount of friendship that you have with them. So right now our friendship with Mars is like 9.5 of 10 hearts, so it's pretty high. Might have her level 2 card. I'm not seeing it here. I think we might have gotten her level 2 card at some point. Maybe we got rid of it again. Yeah. So yes, so over time, characters change, their personalities change, and there is dating. don't know if I'm dating anyone. But oh yes, man, I'm dating Dis. Everyone loves Dis. I haven't focused on him very much because he's most people's favorite. So you'll probably hang out with him some in the demo. But here's a sneak peek of older Dis with his little flower behind his ear. I think it's so sweet. The character design and all of this was Mei Chow. Like Mei is responsible for so much of the personality and the love in this game. I think they designed all the characters, did a lot of the other art as well. The backgrounds were mostly Eduardo Vargas, and some of the concept art and a few of the backgrounds were Sarah Webb. And several other artists worked on it as well. It's a very lots of people together working together. But but Mei's characters changed the way that Lindsay and I wrote things. They just really had a very large effect on the game as a whole, I think, to be able to see these people. I had very early on in development, I thought that I might do the art myself. I had kind of a smaller scope for it, but it was the characters that I knew. There was just no way I couldn't draw characters that people would fall in love with, that people would just really like. And I think Mei really succeeded in that. I love all of these characters, and the pinup images. Major events in characters' lives have these full screen, beautiful pinup images that are just really great. Let me see if I can just skip out really quickly and go show you some of them from the main menu. Everything that you do is collected here in the gallery. So you've got your achievements, every card you've ever collected, just the backgrounds you've seen and stuff, and the endings you've gotten, which is a thing. But also these just major events that happen in the game have these very nice illustrations. So these are all by me. Endings as well. There's a lot of different ways to end the game. Many of them are just jobs. Some of them are kind of more special event-based ones. Not all of them end well either. There are some ways to end the game kind of prematurely if things go terribly wrong. Let's just go back in here. We do a auto-saving, so we're back to where we just were talking to Dis. Other things have changed in the colony. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of jobs that unlock and things to do. So here now we could deliver supplies, work in the depot, which is working with Mars, kind of selling things to people, or assisting the governor, which is one of the political jobs. So politics become a much bigger deal, obviously, when you're much older in the game. But there's a very large kind of schism in the colony later in the game. You'll notice that this colony map is really different from what you see in year 10 in the demo. Everything's moved around a little bit, and there's this big new ship that has landed. And it brought with it about 100 new colonists, maybe half a dozen of them you get to meet. But yeah, they're quite different. You can see this ship has guns on the front of it. Sarah Rowland did all of the 3D art for the maps here. But yeah, the guns are kind of a sign that these newcomers are a little less back to the land hippies, the way that your parents were, and a little more conquerors and colonizers. So you don't need to choose sides, because of course you could just be a normal everyday teenager minding their own business, not caring what the adults do. But you're certainly able to affect the politics of the world and the way that your colony works. And I don't want to. I'm trying not to spoil stuff here, but the way that your colony affects the world that you've landed on, the planet of Vertemna, and the way that it works internally as well. So there's a lot of there's a lot of heated moments of politics later in the game. Um, and yeah, you could actually become a politician. You could run for governor, um, or you could, become the head farmer. I believe right now Cal is the head farmer here. I think if we go do a farming job, we'll be able to talk to him about that. Let's see. Look on the farm. Oh, spoilers. A lot of spoilers in this part. Okay, I skipped by that pretty quickly, but Cal was saying, hey, welcome, I'm running things now, and, glad to have you here working on the farm with me. This is very sweet. He's just such a nice guy. He's like, even when things get tough or weird, he's just this like very solid, very nice guy. Oh yeah, right. Yes. This is the second half of an event that we didn't see the first half, but Cal was having trouble with a pest that was eating all the stuff in the fields, and he sent you off to the ridges to go find some way to deal with the pest. So that's where the pest came from, the Dorbs moths, which are adorable, but also huge moths that eat everything. So while you were out there, we found the bounce weasels. We found a predator that eats the Dorbs moths, and we recorded their high-pitched, screamy hunting calls and brought it back to help Cal out. So because of that, we've got a new card, which is good and bad. It's a high number, but it hurts your red cards. If you have a deck that's mostly blue, though, it's going to be great. And a little extra kudos and some food for the colony, which food is a very important aspect of kind of the first half of the game, or maybe the middle half of the game. But at this point, we're old enough, it doesn't matter anymore. We've solved the food problems. But if we had successfully completed this event earlier, it would have given us a boost to our food, which is important early on. The way that the events work in this game, they aren't all keyed to age. So you could have gotten this event when you were 12 or 13, I think. We're getting it when we're 17. I think you could get it when you're 19. There's kind of a quarter of the events are pinned to a certain age and will maybe always happen no matter what decisions you've made or where you're working or spending your time or who you're spending your time with. And the other events are all kind of randomly distributed and are different. Like the content of the event will be possibly quite different depending on like who you are and what the state of the colony and the people are. So we chose to farm today. We're here doing the farming challenge. So this is just a normal single round card combat. Once you have enough cards, this little icon down here appears. It's this sorting thing. And also, I didn't mention it earlier, but if you can't quite make the goal, you can pay stress to win anyway. So I think our cards are pretty good. But in this case, there you go. If we couldn't quite make it, we could pay stress. Here we go. There's like an amount of stress we can pay. We've got 39 stress. We could pay 25 to win this anyway. But I think I think I can figure this out. So we could do this. That's not what we want to do. So this guy is making the neighboring cards worse. So if we put him over there on the edge, he's going to have kind of less of an effect on them, which lets us get 555. Another way we could do this that would be better. How about this one? So this one, base value of 3, but gets an extra 1 for every card that's not played, so an extra couple. And then -1 for him, an extra +1, because of this battle condition, which just gets all blue cards get +1. It gets complicated so fast, right? But yeah, but we did it. So we got 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, which is 5 of a kind plus 13 bonus, extra bonus from our gear over here. We got our rainbow flush from the Unisaur and a normal flush of 3 yellow cards. This is a pretty darn good hand. It might be the best hand. Let's find out. It's a super goal. Yes. So these 3 stars mean that that was also the best possible hand that you could have made without using any of the one-use items, the collectible stuff that we had found. So this is the best possible hand. We did it, which means we get an extra kudos. We also get a bunch of extra biology from our gear and our goals and whatnot. I think we've already maxed biology out. See, we're pretty good at biology. We don't even really need that anymore. But an extra couple toughness, which we are terrible at, so that's good. And we would have got 10 stress, but our perk is, you choose that during character creation, is calm temperament, which means a little less stress, and our pet Hopeye also keeps the stress down, so that's nice. Friendship with Cal, because we worked in geoponics, which is kind of his domain. Although I think we're maxed out with him too. This is a pretty stock late game character. Pretty, they got everything. Glow season. All right, so this up here is the calendar, and we've moved to glow season right at the end of the year. It's a very pretty season. It's like like northern hemisphere winter when the sun is barely up. In this case, it actually stays completely below the horizon for 2 weeks. I think is what they say. So it's just dark. But on the planet Vertumna, it's quite pretty. It's everything is kind of alive and sparkling. There's a lot of glowing stuff in here. I like these mushrooms, how they glow. You're not usually allowed out. It's too dangerous. But it is possible to sneak out, just like you can when you're a little kid, to go explore glow. So now we're just outside the colony. We've decided this month to to come outside and see what's out here during this season. Everyone's warned us this is incredibly dangerous, but it actually feels pretty peaceful. Part of that might be this music. I really like this song. I don't know how well you can hear it. There, hold on. There we go. It's very chill. It starts super slowly and just kind of builds its way up. This song and all of the music for the Explore areas is by a guy named Jogging House, and they're all synths. He's got mixing boards with lots of stuff on it. You can actually, on YouTube, he's got videos of him recording this song and several of the songs that are in Exocolonist, and it's just like the most beautiful, peaceful setups. He's just turning one little dial, sitting back, one dial. It's very wonderful to just sit and watch and listen. I think the song is like 8 minutes long of just things slowly coming in and out, super ambient. Yeah, really nice. The soundtrack for Exocolonist has at least a dozen artists on it. About half of the tracks you can find online already, and the other half were written specifically for this game. We got some big names in video game music, and we will be releasing the soundtrack when the game comes out, and I'm just super, super stoked for it. There's so much good stuff. Yeah. And a good range too. Since the game, takes place starting from like very innocent childhood to some really intense scenes of kind of strife and anger and death and bad times. We needed a huge range of music, and a lot of the songs will only appear in one age area, so it's a big soundtrack. recorded, but I'll be in the chat for part of the time answering questions. If you have any. I'm also always on the Finji Discord, which you can find a link to that on exocolonist.com. So if you have any questions, if you play the demo, want to give some feedback, just come on over there. The only question I can't answer is our release date yet, but we'll have news on that in a Can't get past this thing because we're not high enough level. We need skills. Taste very good to those worms. They let you go. You just had to stay calm and not panic. Everything was okay. Which often is the lesson of this game, that things aren't all out to get you, and that assessing the situation is a bit of a and always cross through the mysterious river. Strange lights in the sky. Wow. Suddenly your blade sports ball. It's a little bit of a dream sequence, I think. Especially because Anemone is very different looking from this now. You can that's what she looks like now. This is like a memory that you have of her when she's very young. Yeah, so that's the vibe of exploring during Glow. It's very chill. It's a little bit of a callback to some of the earlier childhood events that are, just full of wonder and not as much danger as elsewhere. Let's head back to the home just quick. All right, I think that's about time, but yeah, hopefully you got a taste of both the demo here and of what awaits you after the demo once the game comes out in an unknown time period. But yeah, I hope you liked it, and come join us on Discord, on the Finji Discord, which you can find linked from exocolonist.com if you have any more questions, want to chat. All right.